But now, it is with great pleasure and great excitement that we introduce the AMA Motorcycle Hall of Fame Class of 2018. So our first inductee was born just an hour and a half from here in the small town of Lodi, Ohio. But his achievements were anything but small, catapulting this shy and quiet man into the national spotlight of motorcycle competition. During a career that spanned more than 30 years, Donald "Skip" Eaken was a master tuner. His teams won several AMA championships, including 3 straight AMA Grand National Championships and an AMA Superbike title. Eaken was born in Lodi, Ohio in 1944 and moved to nearby Strongsville when he was in high school. A two-sport athlete, one day he took a ride on an off-road bike that belonged to his future father-in-law. The next week, he bought his first motorcycle and rode every chance he could. Beginning in 1962, Eaken competed in amateur off-road and motocross racing, eventually earning his pro motocross license. As his racing days wound down, the self-taught tuner worked at a nearby motorcycle shop. In 1972, Eaken built his first flat-track racer, and over the next 10 years, he created some of the fastest machines in competition. In 1983, future AMA Motorcycle Hall of Famer Ted Booty rode an Eaken-prepped Harley-Davidson to a Grand National victory. Eaken's big break came later that year when Honda racing manager and future Hall of Famer Gene Romero asked Eaken to join the Honda team for the 1984 AMA Grand National Championship. He was given the choice of working with Bubba Schobert or Ricky Graham, both future Hall of Famers. Eaken chose Schobert, and the two went on to form a close working relationship.
I think it just takes a little discipline, mental discipline, that Bubba does come first.
While winning 3 straight AMA Grand National Championships in 1985, 86, and 87, and the AMA Superbike title in 1988. When Honda scaled back its flat track effort after the 1988 season, Eaken started his own privateer Honda team the next year, competing in 40 national and non-national races with no mechanical failures. His riders, including Hall of Famer Steve Moorhead, finished 3rd and 4th in the 1989 AMA Championship. Eaken's motorcycles continued to win races, and in 2010, he teamed with Ricky Howerton and rider Luke Goff to design and develop Kawasaki's 650cc parallel twin for flat track racing. Eaken worked on the project until his death in 2012, and the motorcycle he helped develop went on to claim its first national championship in 2016. A shy and quiet man, Eaken's success was rooted in his confidence, innate intelligence, and his just-go-for-it approach to racing. In recognition of his brilliant tuning skills, commitment to teamwork, and unwavering focus on excellence, the AMA proudly welcomes Skip Eaken to the AMA Motorcycle Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Linda Eaken and her nephew, Dave Rush. Presenting the AMA Motorcycle Hall of Fame Glory Days statue is one of the top AMA Grand National racers of all time, Hall of Famer Steve Moorhead. They are accompanied by the AMA board member Ken Ford, who chairs the AMA Hall of Fame committee.
Linda Eaken, in recognition of Donald "Skip" Eaken's brilliant tuning skills, commitment to teamwork, and unwavering focus on excellence resulting in numerous AMA team championships, it is my great honor to induct Skip Eaken into the American Motorcyclist Association Motorcycle Hall of Fame. Congratulations.
You guys want to come on over?
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Dave?
Okay. I would like to introduce my nephew, Dave Brush. He spent most of the years since, excuse me, 1985 helping the Eaken racing team. I would like to thank him for all the time he put into the race team, not just going to almost all the races, but also at the shop and helping with the development of the motorcycles. During 1989, Skip's first year with a privateer team, Skip and Dave ran the whole team themselves, which had two of the top racers in the championship series. I would also like to thank Dave for the motorcycle and leaving it at the Hall of Fame over here. It was the last one built by Skip. It bears the 62 since it was ridden by Luke Goff of Australia, Skip's last full-time rider. Now I have asked Dave again to help by talking about Skip and thanking the people, both riders and sponsors, who have helped the Eaken racing team during Skip's 40-year career. Thank you, Dave. And by the way, today is Dave's birthday.
To start off, I would like to congratulate all the class of 2018 AMA Motorcycle Hall of Fame inductees. On behalf of the Eaken family and the Eaken racing family, I would like to thank the AMA for the honor and privilege of having Skip Eaken inducted into the AMA Motorcycle Hall of Fame. I just wish he was here to enjoy this moment with us. Then he could have made this speech himself. Skip was introduced to motorcycles at the age of 18 by his future father-in-law, Ellis Clement, who was a competitive enduro rider in the Midwest during the 30s through the 60s. About a week after that first ride, he had purchased his own motorcycle, a Triumph Cub. It turned into a lifelong passion. In fact, he was doing what he loved right up to the end. He worked at several motorcycle dealerships in Northeast Ohio to make a living and prepared race bikes in the evenings. In 1984, he got a big break when he was asked by Gene Romero to work for American Honda as a factory mechanic. They were starting a flat track team using the now famous Honda RS750, which became the weapon of choice for many top riders in the late 80s and early 90s. He had his pick of the riders to work with at Honda. His options were some guy named Ricky Graham from Salinas, California, or some other guy named Bubba Schobert from Lubbock, Texas. Some of you may have heard of him. He knew both of these riders and selected Bubba because of the talent and potential he saw in him. Together, Skip and Bubba strung together 3 national dirt track championships from 1985 through 1987, and in 1988, they won the AMA Superbike Championship as well. To be successful in this sport, one needs a fast and reliable motorcycle, a talented rider, a close relationship between the tuner and rider, and the support of sponsors and family. Skip had many other talented riders over the years. They included names like Ricky Campbell and Scott Drake from Ohio, Charlie Roberts, Ted Too Tall Booty. Skip's first win at a national dirt track was with Ted Booty in 1983 at Hamburg, New York, one of Skip's favorite tracks because of the success he had there. In his first year after Honda, which was 1989, Skip ran his own team out of his own shop in Windham, Ohio, using the same factory Honda motorcycles that he and Bubba had used to campaign the 5 previous years. These bikes were given to him by Honda. I hope I didn't just get Gary Mathers in trouble with Honda. Skip had 2 top riders that year in Dan Ingram and Steve Moorhead. This was one of his proudest years as his bikes had no mechanical failures and they finished 3rd and 4th in the Camel Pro Series points behind the factory Harley team of Scott Parker and Chris Carr. Continuing, here are some more talented riders that rode Skip Eaken prepared motorcycles. John Cornwell in 1990, Ricky Graham, Larry Pegram for a few years before he went road racing. Also in 2000, Skip took a 1-year break from dirt track and was the crew chief for Larry Pegram, riding the Competition Accessories Ducati in the AMA Superbike Series. Next, Kevin Atherton, Winkin Will Davis, Davey Camlin from 1994 through 1998, cushion specialist George Roeder II from 2001 through 2005, Dan Gideon Jr. and Ricky Marshall from Ohio, Don Taylor from Canada, Luke Goff from Australia, and Rob Pearson, the ringleader from the Fast Boys from Illinois. Without these riders, Skip would not have been known for preparing fast and reliable motorcycles. There were a few other tuners that Skip kept close and with who he exchanged top secret information. Ray Plum, who built many championship-winning Honda engines, and Johnny Goad and Kenny Tolbert, who both have earned dirt track national championships. In addition, there were some people that helped Skip at the track or at his shop in Ohio, some for a season, others for many years. Thanks to Bart Addis, Chance Darling, Les Washburn, Dan Gideon Sr., Dan Gideon Jr., Skip's grandson, Jared Bailey, and machinist Don Romack, to name a few. As I mentioned, another key to success are your sponsors. Without them, Eaken Racing would not have been able to even make it to the races. With that understanding, I must thank the following companies and individuals: American Honda, Southeast Harley-Davidson, Weebler's Harley-Davidson, Mike Corbin of Corbin Motorcycle Seats and Accessories, Jeff Hartridge of American Harley-Davidson, George Roeder of Roeder Racing, Texas Harley-Davidson, Las Vegas Harley-Davidson, Dave Bowman at KK Motorcycle Supply, Mike Sponsiller, Tom Seymour of Saddleman Seats, Chris Carter of Motion Pro, Ricky Howerton of Howerton Racing Products, and last and far from least, Dick Ford. Dick was and still is a huge Skip Eaken fan. He was a key sponsor for Eaken Racing for more than a decade and is a lifetime member of the Eaken Racing family. A bit about this motorcycle on stage and Skip. The number 62 Kawasaki behind me is the last motorcycle that Skip built. It was raced by Luke Goff and Rob Pearson in 2012 and Dan Ingram in 2013 after Skip's passing. You'll notice there's no green on the bike, as Skip felt that green on a race bike was bad luck. The wheels are orange, so the bike can be easily picked out of the pack, passing other bikes down the back straight. It works perfectly, by the way. Skip was known in the pits for his integrity. If he told you he would do something, he would do it. This honor tonight is Skip's recognition for countless hours spent improving and maintaining race bikes, and the many sacrifices made by tuners like Skip to compete at this, the highest level of motorcycle flat track racing in the world. Their families take the brunt of this passion, dedication, and commitment. So here's a heartfelt thanks to Skip's family, especially his wife, Linda, who was with him for all the highs and lows that this sport can dish out, his daughters, Barb and Sue, and his son, Chip. Thanks for sharing him with us from the Eaken Racing family. Finally, I want to thank the organizers of this event and everyone that came to support it. Thank you.